What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel, and before we jump in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because today we're diving into something truly legendary, a machine that shaped automotive history, a car that represents danger, beauty, rebellion, and ultimate exclusivity, the 1955 Porsche 550 Spyder. This isn't just another vintage ride, this is the car that changed the way the world looked at Porsche and sports cars as a whole. Now imagine it's the mid-1950s. Porsche is still a young company, barely a decade into its journey, and already it's shaking up the automotive world. They wanted a lightweight, agile racing machine that could outmaneuver competitors far bigger, faster, and more powerful. The answer was the 550 Spyder. With a feather light body made of aluminum and weighing barely 500 pounds, this car was designed not for luxury but for pure racing performance. What makes it extraordinary is that it wasn't stuffed with a giant V12 or some over-the-top engine. Instead, Porsche engineered a flat-4 air-cooled engine called the Foreman engine, producing around 110 horsepower. That doesn't sound wild today, but paired with its lightweight construction, the 550 Spyder became a giant killer on the racetrack. It could reach speeds of 140 mph, and back then that was serious top-end performance. The car's low, sleek stance gave it the nickname Giant Killer. It was small, it was agile, and it could cut through corners with insane precision. While other manufacturers were building huge, powerful machines, Porsche proved that balanced design and handling could dominate. And dominate they did. The 550 Spyder went on to crush it in international races, including the Targa Florio and Le Mans. Imagine a David versus Goliath story, but on four wheels. That's exactly what the Spyder delivered. Ta-da! But beyond the track, what gave this car even more fame, or maybe infamy, was its connection to James Dean. Dean, the Hollywood icon, fell in love with the 550 Spyder and bought one in 1955. He nicknamed it Little Bastard, and tragically, that very car was the one he was driving during the crash that ended his life at just 24 years old. That moment sealed the Porsche 550 Spyder's place in pop culture forever. To this day, the Dean connection adds this chilling, almost mysterious aura around the car. Some even call it cursed, but whether you see it as tragedy or legend, it made the 550 Spyder immortal in the eyes of collectors and fans worldwide. Today, trying to own one of these is almost impossible. Only about 90 of them were ever built between 1953 and 1956, and each one is like a crown jewel in the car world. Auction prices have soared into the multi-million-dollar range, with pristine examples selling for over $6 million. Think about that. What started as a lightweight racing tool back in the 50s is now one of the most expensive and sought-after cars in existence. It's not just the engineering, it's not just the racing heritage, it's the story, the myth, the aura. Owning one is like holding a piece of living history, a car that defined Porsche's DNA and still inspires every sports car they make today. Even replicas of the 550 Spyder are in high demand. Car enthusiasts want to experience what it's like to sit inches off the ground with the wind ripping past and the engine screaming just behind your shoulders. Driving one is raw, it's unforgiving, but it's pure, something modern cars sometimes forget with all their tech and comfort. The 550 Spyder was never about comfort, it was about feeling alive. So when we talk about the most expensive, most legendary cars of all time, the 1955 Porsche 550 Spyder sits right near the top of that list. It's rare, it's dangerous, it's iconic, and it's one of the purest driving experiences ever built. And let's be real, if you ever spot one on the road, you're not just looking at a car, you're staring at history, art, and a legend that will never fade. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 550 Spyder, smash that like button, share this with a friend who loves cars, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel because we've got plenty more legendary rides and stories coming your way. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.